1. Let's go.
Welcome to the podcast that brings you raw, uncut, and unfiltered perspectives about life.
We need to have a conversation, all right?
We got to do better as a people.
Covering relationships, culture, music, and everything in between.
So that our stories in our communities can be heard.
This is Unlatched.
I got a little something for you.
And now your host, DeAndra Cargill.
What's up, everybody, and welcome to Unlatched. I am your host, DeAndra Cargill. Let's get started. Today on the show, I have some very special guests. I have Tiffany Ann, and I have Dominique Godwin. Hey, Tiff. Hey, Dom.
Hey, happy Friday. Happy Cinco de Mayo.
Right? Anybody getting drunk tonight? You're on mute, Tiff.
We can't hear you, Tiff.
How about now? You got me?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah, no drinking for me. I did too much last night. I'm done.
I'm so sorry.
I tap
No
out.
drinking for me either.
I'll be drinking for both of you guys then. It's my birthday.
Please don't tell me that's that trash ass damn tequila.
Y'all gonna stop coming for tequila because I'm just confused. Like,
Dom, I love you, but that shit is nasty.
no, it's not. I love tequila, and I don't wake up with no hangover.
Well, I don't know anything about alcohol because I don't
I
drink.
wake up with no hangover. Oh, well, that's good.
You don't drink at all?
I don't like the taste of alcohol.
That's
It's
amazing.
strong.
Stick to that.
I know that's
Stick
lame,
to
right?
No, it's not. It's not lame at
that.
all.
Stick to it because it'll have you forgetting stuff.
And doing some stuff you don't want to do. So,
Amen.
So, how are you ladies doing today?
Doing well. How about yourself?
I'm doing fine.
That's good. That's good.
I'm exhausted, but here we are. I'm gonna eat my dinner
So,
because I'm just walking in the house. So
no, it's all good. Can you guys tell the listeners a little about yourselves for the ones that don't know?
go ahead, Tiff. Well, you always go first.
Okay. Well, I am Tiffany Ann. I am a mommy of 3. I am a career woman, businesswoman, however you may see it. And I also do a little dibble and dabbling here with the network. I do a little bit of producing. And I am your president.
Hey, sis.
Oh,
In the comments. So I'm Dominique. Nobody asked you.
nasty.
Nobody asked you.
Tequila is nasty. Yes.
Nice.
Yes, Big Exclusive is trash
That
ass.
bullshit. Y'all the same that was drinking Amsterdam when it came out, so y'all can't give me no liquor advice. But anyway,
No,
moving
Amsterdam is nasty.
on. I'm glad you don't like it.
No, I don't like that.
So I'm Dominique. I am the host of Melanated Vibrations. I'm a mom of 1. Yes, Melanated Vibrations. I am one of the hosts. My sister Adarius is the co-host for this Melanated show. Parent of 1. I'm a therapist. I'm a mental health therapist. In the daytime, I'm a truancy supervisor. So I be getting y'all kids together when y'all don't send them to school and stuff.
Bless you.
Child, let's get them. And I do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like, you know, I'm a Taurus, birthday on Monday, period. You know, the best sign ever.
I beg to differ. I love you, but I beg to differ.
You know, us Taurus are amazing.
here.
And we're loyal.
I'm a Leo.
Okay, Leo.
Gemini.
Yes. So, yes, I like long walks in the park.
Hey,
My
Creamy.
pink and black. I don't know. That's a little bit about me. That's it.
Well, you guys ready for the show?
Most definitely.
I'm ready to see where it's going to go. I'm curious.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, I'm curious.
Okay, so today on Unlatched, I want to talk about baby mama culture. I feel like this needs to be talked about. It could be a very touchy topic and hard to digest, but I think that this is something that we really need to speak on. So I want to start off with the clip.
Baby mother culture has our community in a chokehold. I said, I'm not having a baby unless it rings on my finger. And a lot of Black women told me, oh, a ring doesn't mean anything, which is true. However, a ring means financial stability. Secondly, the fact that many of you think it's more of a commitment to be married than to have a child is crazy to me. We gotta get ourselves out of this chokehold. Like, black women to black women, let's talk. On top of that, how many black women are single mothers? It's usually the middle class, and how many of them are struggling? Being a single mother is not cute. And my mom was a single mother, and she had 4 babies. I was traumatized, okay? That wasn't fun. I remember those trips to the food stamp office, to the welfare office, to getting WIC and everything. I remember those trips, and trust me, I'm not gonna traumatize my child. If you were raised by a single mother who wasn't married, why would you want to repeat the cycle? That is a cycle of poverty. If you don't want to get married, that's fine, but make sure you are financially stable.
Okay.
So, my question to you ladies is, do you feel like the black community is in a chokehold when it comes down to this baby mama culture?
I say yes and no. It depends on the person. I myself, I don't subscribe to the title baby mama, period.
Me neither.
I think it's very disrespectful.
Mm-hmm.
I actually think it's slander and defamery. I have 3 children, and I was a wife. Okay. I would never allow anyone to call me a baby mama, nor would their father ever call me his baby mama. And I give him that same respect. I would never call him a baby daddy. That is the father of my children. I'm the mother of his children. And I think that it kind of pains me because I don't hear any other cultures calling themselves baby mamas and having baby daddies. For me, I've only heard us as Black people with the stigmatism of a baby daddy and a baby mama.
And
I agree.
Done.
Tiff, what you drinking?
A little bit of Moscato. Just a little
I
something.
wasn't drinking tonight. Ain't that what she said?
Right.
This is really nothing. It's because I don't do hard.
Though.
I can't do liquor.
Beautiful, by the way. I love all this that you got.
Thank you.
Same here.
So I think it has us in a chokehold. I'm going to say yes. But I think we put ourselves there. Similar to what Tiff said. Like, I've never heard an Asian person, a Caucasian person refer to the parent of their child as like, oh, that's my baby mom, that's my baby dad. I've never heard that. And I ain't a baby mom either. Let me be clear. I share your sentiments, Tiff. I'm not a baby mom. I am the mother of that man's child.
That's right.
But I am not a baby mom. And I think the moment that we as Black people start referring to ourselves as such, and we set and raise the standard, so everybody want to be out here and be calling kings and queens. What's the difference between being called a king or a queen and being called the mother of someone's child or the father of someone's child?
Exactly.
Even my son's dad, like, he's saved in my phone as Joseph's father. Like, you're such and such father. I don't got baby dad in my phone. I'm a baby dad. He is the father of my child. Exactly. I think that when we begin to change the language, then the language changes. But we can't set standards for certain things, and then we still revert back to baby dad, baby mom. That's
absolutely.
That's it definitely got us in a chokehold. I'm not really sure why. And agree, a ring does not guarantee financial stability.
Thank you. Exactly. And that was my question. Stability. A ring doesn't represent stability.
It does not. It does not. So you are married and then you get divorced, and then what?
Exactly.
Child support, but child support is based on if that person pays, and depending on the state, it'll just go into the arrears. Now I know, during the pandemic, they were locking people up in Pennsylvania, guys that weren't paying child support. But you know how that go. That's like, oh, we got space and we need to fill these numbers, so we're gonna lock folks up. But then when the prisons became overcrowded because dudes was going to jail for not paying child support, they had to stop it.
Which is insane.
Stick. So just because you are married does not guarantee financial stability. There are a lot of married folks, and it's still very one-sided in their marriage, where someone is a financial provider for that child and kind of everything that encompasses that marriage. So being married don't guarantee financial stability, just like being married or having a child out of wedlock does not necessarily mean you're gonna have a toxic relationship with that other child's parent.
Exactly.
That parent might do exactly what they're supposed to do. And maybe you ain't gotta go put them on child support. They may do everything that they're supposed to do as a parent because they understand what it is to be a parent to a child. Yeah, we got ourselves
about the kids.
Right. We got ourselves in trouble because we keep using them terms. Nobody else uses that.
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't agree with the terms, but do you think as a community that we do glorify being a baby mama over marriage and, you know, at least trying to build a strong family structure?
I think it depends on. Go ahead, Dom.
I was gonna say I think we glorify baby moms. Like Fantasia has a whole song about it.
Right.
Her album. She has a song called Baby Moms. This goes out to all my baby mamas. Like, it's a whole song. So yes, we glorify it as a culture. But I also think we need to normalize that everybody ain't meant to be married.
With that being said, though, do you think that if we're not meant to be married and we're not compatible as husband and wife, that we should be mother and father to a child together?
Me and my son father are great co-parents. I don't see me marrying that person. He's not who I want in a husband, but he is an amazing father when he decides to do what he's supposed to do. When he steps up, he is an amazing father. My son worships the ground he walks on. But him being amazing.
And when I say I don't agree, I don't mean I agree with your situation. I agree with mine. I'm a mother of four boys at that.
Mm-hmm.
So I know that looking back, I wish that I have done things differently. I wish that I had tried getting married before I had children. At least give it a chance, you know. And I feel like, you know, if you're not good enough to marry, then you shouldn't be, you know what I'm saying? If you're not good enough for a man to marry you, you shouldn't be giving him a baby. And like you guys said, marriage does not guarantee a successful relationship. It does not, you know, guarantee financial, stability. But I believe that you come out with more when you do, you know, at least try that way.
Mm-hmm. I think I was good enough to be his wife. The gag is he wasn't mature enough to make me a wife. He wasn't financially stable enough to make me a wife. So all of this goes back to like, yeah, I should have been a wife before I had a kid. Kid came first. It's that whole thing of what came first, the chicken or the egg. Everybody's not meant to be married.
Exactly. And sometimes everybody's circumstances are not the same.
I don't think I could. I don't think
we normalize
myself being his wife, child. I think I've been in jail on snap or something.
So do you guys agree that maybe those are, not saying that he's not a good father, but can you look back and at least tell a younger woman that, hey, if marriage is not on the table, a baby shouldn't be on the table? Because I feel I want to be in the home. Not me, because I don't want to be with my kid's father. But what I'm saying is, if I could change it, you know what I'm saying? I wish that I had a child from somebody that I wanted to be in the household with. I wanted to marry. I wanted to be a family unit, you know, to give my child that opportunity to have a mother and the father in the, you know, in the same home. And I feel like sometimes we need to stress that importance to the younger generation of women that are coming up, because I see more baby showers than I see marriages.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I agree. I feel like I'd like to be a mother of a child again. Yes, I hope that within the next year or two, I am a mother. And I say, people like, oh, when you have another kid, like your child about to be such and such age. When God send me a husband.
Oh yeah, because I'm done.
At this age, marriage is on the table for me.
I'm done too. I didn't cap that.
Marriage is a goal. I want to give my son a sibling. Like he be asking every other day. Like we could just go to Build-A-Bear and get him a sibling. I don't know where he got that from. But I do want to be married, and I would like my next child to be through marriage. But that's because I want to be married. Whether we have a child or not, but I want to be married. I do hope that I can have a child when I get married, but I already got my kids, so I'm like, I don't know.
You guys feel like, you know, the hip hop culture, do you think that it further influences and glamorizes being a baby mother?
Definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah. I look at people like NBA, Youngboy, Future, Nick Cannon, and all the baby mamas that they have, right? So they make it look sweet. They make it look like, you know, make it look nice, but they don't show all the things behind. You know
The
what I'm saying?
hardships.
What
Yeah, the
actually being,
hardships.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
right, and actually what being a single mother is. You know,
Mhm.
I'm not
Hey,
saying
Hannibal.
financial. Okay, so I'm not talking about financially. I'm not talking about, you know, getting a check, making sure that everything is cool. I'm talking about the hours that you put in to being a parent.
Mhm. Oh my God! Don't get me started on that.
Right. There's a lot
That's
of time that goes.
never ending.
Right, never
Agree,
ending.
royalty.
And
They
I
do.
feel
They go
like
up pregnant and multiple baby moms. They do.
yeah,
They do.
and
They
we're
To
and
promise.
them, it's a badge of honor.
It is a badge of. Yep. Mm-hmm.
I feel like us as like women, we're the ones that carry the burden,
Mm-hmm.
Most definitely.
carry most of it. I'm not saying that there aren't single fathers out there because there are definitely single fathers out there, and shout out to you guys. But what I'm saying is we carry the burden, and then not only that, I even think about bio, like stealing the opportunity away from them of growing in the home with two parents. You
Mm-hmm.
know, like just making smarter and setting our standards higher. For our children. 'Cause I
Mm-hmm.
feel like we rob them of that a lot in our community.
Mm-hmm. I grew up in a 2-parent household.
I did
Um,
too.
until my father
Yeah.
passed away. My mom wasn't interested in being married again or dating, or she wasn't interested in none of that. I tried with my son's dad. I did. When I wanted to do the family thing, he wasn't ready to do the family thing. I would love for my son to grow up in a 2-parent household, but the reality of it is a child should not be the reason you stay in a broken relationship.
I
Right.
definitely agree with you.
I do not
I
believe in
agree.
it. I just don't. So I would rather my son
No, I
see
agree
his
as
parents
well.
love each other from afar than be in the same household where we faking it, trying to make it work, arguing in front of the kid. It just, you can feel the energy is different.
Yes.
I don't believe, and to me,
Because kids
I'd
are
rather
not
not break.
stupid.
They can pick up on it, and I don't
Not
believe
at
in
Kids are
all.
raising
not
my
stupid.
son or fostering that kind of behavior either. Because now when he
Absolutely,
goes
I
to school,
agree.
he starts to act out, and we're trying to figure out why. It's like, oh, well, mommy and daddy be fighting. This is what they see. So for
Mhm.
me, it was easier to love my son's dad from afar. I still love you. You gave me the best gift that I could ever have. You gave me a son. I'm grateful to you, but that's as far as it goes.
Right. Right.
For me, I can't speak to nobody else, but our situation didn't work. When I was ready to do the family thing, he wasn't. And then when he was ready to do the family thing, I was over it.
Well,
Right.
you already know my situation.
Yeah.
You
Like,
already know my situation. Me and my children's father, we co-parent very well.
mm-hmm.
Like I said, we were married. We had our children. And unfortunately, things don't work out, but it's okay. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not going to say that everything was all peaches and roses in the beginning. No, it was not. It was very difficult to find a balance.
Mm-hmm.
But once we found that balance, it made it so much easier for our children because ultimately, what the goal was is to make sure that they didn't feel slighted or they didn't feel that the reasons for us not being together was their fault. So we always make sure we are very tight. We have a very close family knit unit. We pretty much do almost everything together. Our kids are really heavy in sports. We go to all the games together. Birthdays, we collaborate with birthdays. Like we're about to go on vacation. We want to normalize the situation for them as much as possible because
That's
so many
beautiful.
times I know I've seen a lot of children who have grown up in a broken family home and they don't have that dynamic. And it's
Right.
sad because you need your mother and your father. And if they can see that you can get along together and still do things as a family, I think that's a beautiful thing.
Right. Yeah, and I absolutely agree. Even if it doesn't work out, to at least keep that bond for the children and to show some type of healthy relationship between you two. Because believe it or not, kids they soak all this stuff in, you know. And
Definitely.
then a lot of the times they grow up and they have these same attitudes towards the opposite sex or, with the same relationship that their mother and their father had with each other.
Our kids are
So,
watching us, plain and simple.
absolutely.
So we have to make sure we're very mindful of what we're putting out there and what we're setting as the standard and as the example.
Absolutely. I totally agree. So, how does the term baby mama affect the way society views baby mothers?
A lot of times when I hear, and this is just me personally, When I hear the term baby mama, I'm thinking of some ratchet ass ghetto chick that's then put her child's father on child support, spending the money on getting her hair and her nails and everything done. But that's the stigma that the community has put on that term, which is why I don't like that term baby mama, because everybody is not like that. Every woman does not have that same mentality. Every situation is not that situation. But I think the fact that you hold on to that title, that's unfortunately how people see you.
Right. I agree with you. Dom?
I guess when you think baby mom, you think ghetto, you think ratchet, you think all these, oh, you bitter, you on child support, you think all these stereotypes that are associated with a baby mom. But I think it's also something that's only associated in the Black community. Like, I still just don't think
exactly
races are just going around.
We are the only ones that hold on to this title. Hold on to this
like
title more. Exactly. And it's not. It's not. And I would say, to answer your question from earlier, I definitely, that's something that I'm teaching my daughter. I want you to be a wife first. That's what you should strive to be. Be a wife first, but not because that's what you think the stability is. You want to strive to be married because you love that person. You want to build with that person. You see this person as your equal and your one.
Right. Absolutely. And I totally agree. And I feel like, a lot of the times we look for the wrong things, especially the men, like these guys have no intentions of being fathers sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And we sit there and we give them the highest honor, by giving them a child.
But see, that's a conversation that needs to be had in the very beginning.
Right.
Do you want children? Because if I'm in a situation where I'm dating, because as of right now, I'm single, but if I'm going to meet a man, that's a conversation that we're definitely going to have. Because if you want to have children and I don't want children, then we're not compatible off jump, because I don't want to have any more kids.
Hey, Top Flirt.
Hey, Flight. Hey, now.
So, yeah. So, I mean, then we sit around and we see men, they have like 4 or 5 kids, 3 different baby mamas. And we, a lot of women, they still go and they have babies from these men, which I think is very crazy. And I feel like, what are they going to change when they get to your child or something? So I think that sometimes, a lot of the times we set ourselves up for failure from the beginning.
I agree.
Like we can change people, and that's not the case.
I agree, because if you notice that he has all these other children and he's not taking care of those children or stepping up, then why would you then in turn have a baby with him also? Does that make any sense?
Right. It happens all the time. And I think it comes
Girl,
with
stop playing,
the women.
Yes, I am
well.
Okay. Hopefully I meet somebody
the maturity level of the women. Because, believe it or not, these men,
don't do that.
I mean, a lot of the time they don't even love themselves, So expect for them to love children.
Flight, stop.
For baby mamas, I'm available.
Lord.
Another time. Yeah.
I have 3. I'm about to be 41, and she ain't trying to go back to diapers or formula or breastfeeding. Hello? Not doing it.
It's crazy because, so as you all know, I'm single, and so I'm trying to like test out the waters for dating. I met this guy. My sister and I went out a few weeks back, and I met this guy at the bar. Mind you, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, I'm out with my sister. We at the bar.
Yeah, stop playing. You're not trying no baby.
Right. We drinking, we doing all this stuff. And this guy like taps me on my shoulder. I was like, please don't touch me. Like, I don't like that type of stuff. Whatever.
I don't like being touched either.
Don't touch me. And I don't think a lot of people realize like that could be a trigger. It wasn't a trigger for me. Just don't touch me. I don't even know if you wash your hands when you went to go piss. Just don't touch me. So fast forward.
Oh yeah.
Fast forward, I like said something, corrected. He was like, my fault, blah, 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 whatever. We exchanged phone numbers. So we were talking, and he asked, like, do you want more It do got fentanyl in it. I'm trying to tell
All
you.
day long. It's a cesspool.
Randy. That's what I'm
Dating right now is a cesspool. It's an infestation.
It's just got the
It
COVID on.
definitely is.
And so he
It
asked
definitely
me,
is.
he was 43. He was like, he has 2 kids, I believe. And he was like, do you want more kids? And I was like, I do. Like, I'm young. I'm only 35. Like, yeah, I want more kids. And he like, oh, I don't want no kids. Oh, well, I guess this conversation is over because what am I entertaining it for? Like,
Exactly.
we talked about marriage, and I was like, is marriage something that you want? And he like, yeah, but I don't feel like I found the right woman. You 43, you not dating nobody, you not married. There's a lot happening for you because my goal is to be a wife and to be a mother again.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, well, I would.
At least he was honest.
At least he was honest, and I gotta respect it, right? So he was like, if she wanted to have a baby, I would do it for her, and that's my red flag right there. Don't have a baby because your partner wants you to have a baby. Have a baby because you want to be a father again.
Definitely, right. I agree with that. And I think that the
first time y'all get into a little disagreement, it's gonna be like, I ain't want that kid. You know how people get when they get mad. They hit below the belt. I ain't want them kids anyway.
Definitely.
No, thank you. Right. You told me all I needed to know. So for me, we're not dating to go anywhere further than these phone conversations, a couple of outings. I mean, he ended up getting blocked anyway because he was giving very much stalker. And I was like, I'm gonna have him get a PFA, and I don't do PFAs. I do the gun range though.
I knew you was gonna say that.
Gun range though. Yeah, I don't got time for no PFAs and protective orders. I'm blocked anyway. But thank you for letting me know. But now I know like where we stand, and this is not something that's going to go further than where it's going to go.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Definitely.
And see, a lot of guys aren't going to tell you that.
They're not.
They're going to tell you what you want to hear.
That part.
So I feel like a lot of the responsibility is on us. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, a lot of our body, our choice, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like as far as setting standards, if this guy can't take care of himself, how can he take care of a baby? If this guy can't take care of himself, how can he take care of a family? Mm-hmm. So I feel like setting standards, I feel like as Black women, should be the top priority. Loving ourselves, knowing that we're worth it, knowing that our children are worth it.
Hey, bro,
who want to get pregnant?
Come on,
nobody.
Now,
go ahead, Larry.
Cut it out. We know you're not having no more kids.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so I think that number one thing would be setting standard because at the end of the day, the ball is in our court. We're the ones that have the babies, right?
That's right.
So I have another clip that I want to play, and then I want to talk about it. Can we play the next clip?
That we're only focused on the woman who's having a baby when there's both people who are having a baby.
I feel like we're...
Because the woman carries the burden. That's why. Women carry the burden. That's why. That's why we talk about baby mamas. When you become a baby mama, we don't got to pay full price. If we can make you, if you make us make you a wife first, we paying full price. Making sure you taking care of you and these kids, helping you raise the kids. Yeah. And when you leave, when if we decide to divorce and leave you, we got to pay a higher price, alimony, shit like that. Y'all will say any goddamn thing. Boy, that's why we need Big Mama and them back, man. Muddy and them. They used to put foot in y'all ass verbally. They wouldn't let y'all slide with this crazy talk.
I can't take nothing that serious, but anyway, go ahead.
Listen,
all right.
A lot of men think that we kind of slow.
And he sounds slow.
Absolutely. No, not him, not him in particular, but I'm talking about even, how we let ourselves go so quickly. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about us, now, but I'm pretty sure some point in time we did, and I feel like they feel like we're crazy. We're stupid, some stupid creatures, but letting them take advantage of us in ways that we should have known better, and like the cycle continues because we have a lot of young women out there that are out there getting pregnant by men that mean them no good, that show them from day one that they're no good. And I just feel like at some point, it's enough of us to educate, the ones that are coming along, to tell them that, hey, love yourself, you're worth it, you know, set a standard, make these men work for it, because now we're getting to the point where they're saying, because you have children, it makes you less than, lesser value of a woman, which I don't agree with. But you got to think about it. Why would a man want to come along and take, not saying that it doesn't happen, because it does, and take care of somebody else's children? Hell, why would we want another man to come along and take care of somebody else's children when we can prevent this from the beginning? Not saying that it's
Definitely.
100% preventable, but to make better choices when we come to selecting men that we're having children from.
And I'm glad you said that, because that's the first step right there, making good choices. A lot of women in this day and time see the red flag, they see
Right,
the bus
OG.
coming, but yet they will step right the hell in front of it and get ran the hell
Right,
over. It's about your
right.
choices. You're choosing wrong. You're the one choosing these men, and then you sit there and complain. What are you complaining about? You know, this man got 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 kids, ain't taking care of none of them, but yet you sit there, you'll lay down and give this man a baby. That's your fault. That's your
Right.
fault.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What do you think about that, Dom?
What's the saying that the old folks say? It's if you can get the milk for free, why buy the cow?
Most definitely.
That's basically what he said. That it is cheaper to have her as a baby mom than to make her a wife. And I think that kind of thinking, and when they spread that kind of thinking amongst the community and the culture, and then us women, we fall for that type of thinking because they saying all the right things and singing sweet nothings. It goes, it's ownership on both sides.
Definitely.
If you want to be a wife, then you set the standard of what it is to be a wife, and you do not fold from that standard. If you
From
want
the
to be
very
a baby
beginning,
mother of someone's
from
child,
the very beginning.
if that is your
Right.
aspiration, then that is what you aspire to be. If you only want to be someone that is in a relationship, has a baby with somebody, that's what y'all discuss, then ride off into the sunset. But if you want to be a wife, then you set your standards to be a wife, and you find a husband that is going to be not only a great husband, but a great father. That's one that's going to stick around. So I think that unfortunately it's looking like that for men, and it's women not being so smart because we're so emotional. So it's like he just got to say the right thing and be like, "Oh my God, we all
not using common sense." Not using common sense.
Logic behind it. Like, sis, that don't sound like bullshit to you? Like,
I'm lactose intolerant, so no cow for me.
So no cow for me.
So, and it's sad that people think that way, but I mean, he ain't wrong. That's his thinking, because that's been his experience. I don't like it, but that's been his experience. So we as a culture got to change something. Like, something got to give. Like,
yep.
Yeah, and then you got to think about where it stems from, because a lot of us, not saying you guys, because you guys grew up in a 2-parent household, but a lot of women don't know how to be wives. Hell, a lot of men don't know how to be husbands.
That's not something that's taught in our community. Black men are not taught how to be husbands.
Not anymore.
Right.
We're not taught how to be husbands. Tiff and I had this conversation on my show where we talked about mission and being wives, and Tiff brought up a great point of, like, they had etiquette courses way back then that would teach women how to, like, set a table properly and how to, like, dress appropriately and conservatively, and would teach women what it was to be a wife.
How to be a wife, how to be a young woman, how to be a lady.
Yeah, like, they not teaching that. So if your big mama is 45, she's still out here trying to. Who's your old head? Who's really teaching these young girls?
Child, she out in the club with you, dropping it.
Yeah, in the club with you.
Hello?
That's my best friend. No, that's
not. She twerking right alongside with you on them TikToks.
Trying to do a little TikTok dance, baby. That's your granddaughter.
Hello.
That ain't your friend. What are you doing? They don't have old heads, unfortunately. Our big mamas are not the big mamas or their big mamas are not our big mamas that we grew up with.
No.
So they don't have that strong woman raising them and teaching them the good, the bad, the indifferent. These old heads, these, it's no men out here that's like old heads anymore to these young guys. They old heads is, like you said, NBA Youngboy and Future and all of these people that keep showing them like, yeah, let's have
bad examples.
16
Wrong
kids
examples.
and no ring on nobody's finger. You telling me you done ran through all
With
these
no plans on it,
kids and ain't not one of them ain't not one of them was good enough to be your wife?
no plans on getting
their
married.
role models. So when we talk about bringing back marriage,
they just out there sowing the seed, child.
Right.
Yeah, that's a problem. That's a big problem.
That's a huge problem.
Huge problem.
Because look at the examples that's being set.
Look at the examples that's being set. But then we clown people. Well, not we, because I don't clown them, but society clowns people like Russell Wilson, who stepped up.
I don't.
Because Future got a lot of kids, and it ain't
that's
no
a
way
very positive example of a strong black man.
It ain't no way you finna tell me Future got time to spend with all them kids. And this man just stepped up and loved this woman with her child, treats that boy like that is her child, married her, knew she was good enough to be a wife, married her, and then had more babies with her.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a quick question about that. Even though she does have a good man from what we see, right?
I'm so sorry.
And he's a lot better than Future, right?
Oh, wow.
Do you still feel that Sierra wants to be with Future? Do you think that she would still choose him?
Absolutely not.
Because we drift towards the bad boys, right?
We do, but I think at a certain age, we realize that we can't be out here with these bad boys. At some
Absolutely
point,
not.
we gotta want stability. And I think Sierra is at a point in her. This ain't no downplay on Sierra, because I love you, girl, if you're listening. I think if she was still out in the world and her music and doing what she was doing, like how she was when we grew up with her, she might have still been dating the Futures, the 50 Cents, the Bow Wows, right? But I think that because that part of her life, she's not being exposed as much to those type of people. I think now at her age, she's more on the business side of it.
And
so
I think
she needs a man, a husband that's going to teach her the business side of it.
And so it's a testament of how she's being treated.
Exactly. It's a testament of how she's being treated. And she has grown.
Mm-hmm.
And I think where she is now, every day of the week, she'd have chose Future. I think back then in her hot girl days, and she would have, y'all still mad about that outfit she had on Lamb It, Let It Go. I think that she would have.
I knew that was coming.
I think she would have chosen the Futures, like I said, the 50 Cents, the Bow Wows, and the other people that she's dated. But I think now at this age, she definitely would have chosen Russell Wilson, because he gives her stability. He gives her the love that she had been searching for all these other men.
Right.
She gave her kid a father figure, which I'm gonna be honest, Future looked just like Russell Wilson. I'm just saying.
So?
I think he's just like that man. Oh my God, maybe it's the haircut, maybe because he doing his hair, how he do his hair. But he's starting to look like him.
I don't see it.
I see it a little bit, like certain things, certain pictures of them together, because all her kids look alike.
Wait, what? She was twerking on top of the car in a gas station.
Gas station.
That's wait, what video?
That's the O video.
Is that the no? You talking about I seen it on the Shade Room. Nah, this was a recent.
This was new.
This was recent since she been married.
No, sis, don't do that. Oh,
I did see that video.
Don't do that.
He may still be exhibiting behaviors, but I feel like her husband probably told her, "Listen, you still can be who you are, baby. You Sierra."
As long as she's twerking on that thing, I mean, that's.
she popping out them babies for her husband. So
hello.
I think it's at this time it's about the money. I think it's all about the money. You know.
Yeah, stability.
Yeah.
Financial stability.
So I think even when right, and I think even when it comes down to white people, they have problems just like black people have problems. But I feel like they choose family. I feel like they choose stability, and I think that I feel like they choose to stick it out more than we do. I feel like a lot of us, I'm not saying the black woman more, but more of the black man. I think that a lot of the times they walk away when it gets rough or they feel too pressured, to stick it out for the family. Because white people go through problems too, but they stay together for the family. That's why you see a lot of the times when their children are gone off to college, they end up getting divorced. They waited to get their children off. And I feel like, sometimes it might not be where we want to be, but if we can keep it civilized, if we can keep it healthy, I feel like sometimes we should stick it out, for the children.
It's hard to keep it healthy sometimes.
No, I would have to disagree with. And that's only because it's situational. If something, if there's no balance, if you're in a household to where you're always arguing, you're always fighting, you can't see eye to eye, your children see all of that. Sometimes I think it's healthier to just let it go because your children are not stupid. You can try to hide as much as you want to. I know my children can feel when I'm upset, even when I'm not around them. So if you're in a situation to where your levels of frustration are constantly raised, your children are going to pick up on that. And I have to say also, a lot of times it's more women leaving the household
more than us.
Yes, yeah. It's more women leaving the household than men now.
So?
Most definitely. I think those numbers, if they're not neck and neck, it's a little bit higher where the women are now leaving the household versus the men. It can be one little thing that happens. You know what? I'm done. And it can be the smallest minuscule thing, something that's so dumb that could have been talked about. But people are not willing to communicate. They're not willing to work it out. And I'm not saying if it's something big where if y'all fighting physically fighting, harming each other, you need to let it go. Walk away. Just walk the hell away. But if it's something small where it's just a basic disagreement, you have to be willing to stick it out. I would never say stick it out for the children because a lot of times that does not work and it's unhealthy and it will start to unravel and your children will become unhappy because they see that you're unhappy. So a lot of times sticking it out for the children is not the right thing for anyone in that household. And the most important people when it comes to that equation has to be the children and their peace of mind.
Right. That's why I say, like, if you can keep it healthy, if you can keep a healthy relationship.
Have a great show, Flight.
Yes, have a good show. Break a leg, as they say.
Nate Money.
Jimbo.
Hey, Jimmy.
Hey. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like even like, I don't know. I just feel like it has to stop. We have to shoot. I think we should shoot for marriage. I think that, we have to put our standards up higher. We got to love ourselves. I think it starts with us. Because like I said, the ball is in our court.
Definitely.
It's in our court. We have the babies. We end up with the babies. Right. I don't want any more kids either. So, but I even think about the children, like we even got to think about them.
Sorry.
DeAndra said no. She said no.
No more.
But your kids got siblings. My baby don't got no sibling. He just got cousins.
See, you have just the one and you're 35. I'm about to be 41. I'm not popping out no more babies, okay?
35 was the cutoff was 35.
I'm 33 and I hit my limit already.
My big baby about to be 18, okay? I'm done.
That's what I'm saying. Once my son like 10.
And my daughter is always mine.
Get him a stepbrother
have another baby
or sister.
Girl, you better get a doll. Get a baby doll.
I get him a dog.
Play with that dog.
It's okay. You only got one kid. You get married. You get a husband. It'll be okay to have.
I'm just patiently waiting for God.
Well, after Dom's hot girl summer, she gonna settle down in the winter. She gonna find the one, and that's when that baby gonna pop out. We gonna have the biggest baby shower.
Yeah. No, thank you.
So. I got one more clip because I'm looking at the time. So I got one more clip that I want to show.
Do you feel like more mothers are choosing to have the government assist them with raising their children than a man?
Yes.
Yes. And you feel like that if they had a choice, they wouldn't choose to be co-parenting with the father of their children. You don't think that they would prefer to have that help?
Well, you got to look at it like this. I'm talking about marriage. So they're preferring to go against marriage and just be.
I was married.
Huh? I was.
And I stand by what I'm going to say now.
Okay.
Even the women that do receive that assistance, I argue it's the absent fathers that is actually receiving the assistance. Because the government is only doing the job that they're neglecting to do. So if you sit here and you say that women are getting WIC and Title IX and this, that, and the other, actually, it's the fathers that's getting it, because if they was given more than 35...
I actually like that show. I like that whole cast.
Me too.
Yeah, it's a good show.
Yeah. So what do you guys think about that?
You know what, Lamb, and not that
I seen some people in the comments, they were saying that they'll rather they said that we rather, single mothers would rather have the assistance than having, co-parenting with the other parent.
I think it depends on the demographic that you're talking about too, as well. Age, demographics, mindset. I mean, look at who a lot of our young girls have now to look up to in the world. There's not many positive role models out here at all. So us as mothers, we have to be the ones that teach our children, that teach our girls. This is what you need to aspire to. The government assistance thing, I can say I partially agree, because I have sat down and heard an actual conversation where these 4 women were actually discussing getting government assistance and bragging about how much they pay. And as long as I keep having babies, they're going to keep throwing money. That's insane. That's insane to me. When you can be here with the father of your child, working it out, co-parenting, and thriving together.
Right.
What are you teaching your kids? Keep having babies and get government assistance? Come on now. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Big exclusive. Can you put that comment up that you had? It's factual. Look at the last 40 years. Women would rather have the assistance and have the men out the house than struggle with them. I don't agree.
I'm gonna say
I don't know any woman that would rather
agree, Lamont,
receive government assistance than to work it out with their baby's father.
I've seen it more. I have seen it more.
It doesn't exist. I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, but I just don't. I don't see it, because I feel like a lot of the times we struggle with them from the beginning, and a lot of the times they walk away. I'm not saying that it happens all the time like that, but men walk away, and they can walk away, which forces the woman to get assistance because she needs the help, because he's not providing that for her.
But women can walk away as well. We all have a choice.
Yeah, but
it may be hard. It may not be as many women walking away from their children because we're the nurturers. But it's really circumstantial. It really is. It's down to the circumstance, and for my experience and what I have seen from the past 20 years, I've seen more women gravitating towards getting public assistance, wanting to have that public assistance versus having that man. Now, granted, you don't know what their situation was. He may have been a cheater. He may have been an abuser, whatever the situation may be. Now, I don't condone. I'm not saying, oh, yeah, girl, if he whooping your ass, stay with him. Oh, yeah, girl, if he's a chronic cheater, stay with him. No. Everybody deserves peace, okay? Everybody deserves happiness. Everybody deserves to be safe, to feel safe, to be comfortable within their relationship. But if you're in the confines of which I've been seeing, the mentality nowadays with a lot of these girls and a lot of these young girls, I want that check.
And I know that it's probably different from up there in Philly than it is from down here. But what check are they talking about?
Welfare. And I'll tell you this, as a little girl growing up in the 90s, I know for a fact, because I've seen it, I knew of people that were on public assistance. The very first thing they tell you is, in order for you to get a check of any magnitude, food stamps, money, whatever it is they're giving you, you cannot have a man in that household. They break up. I feel as though the government breaks up the homes because they're trying to take the fathers out of the households. And a lot of times, women allow it. I've seen
I
this.
believe that's the truth, especially back in the day. But I don't know how you guys assistants work up there, but down here we have something that's called cash assistance, right? So you can only probably get it for like 3 months, but like 6 months out of a lifetime.
Oh, girl, these bitches walk around here
during that time.
all they fucking
During that
lives with
time,
this damn welfare.
you
As
have
long as
to
they keep
do
popping out
job
kids.
searching, or you have to be in school. And even if you're in school, and I know I have a 4-year degree, but even during school, they gonna cut you off in those 6 months, and you're only able to get it for a lifetime. I mean, that's it for a lifetime. They do not give you assistance forever. They
And
do
see,
not.
that's what they need to do up
Now,
here.
they'll
They
provide.
need to have that same. They
It'll
need
be
to have that same
subsidized.
system here, because these motherfuckers walk
Housing down
around
here.
collecting welfare forever, lying.
Yeah, and not down here. They don't do it like that down here. Now I seen parents go and put their kids on Social Security to get Social Security checks for them because something has,
Ooh.
something has to be wrong with them for them to get it. And I don't know, that's
Now all
unbelievable.
they
But,
do is give them damn kids some candy and let them go in front of them people during the interview.
right.
And
But they don't do that like that down here. Now they'll provide housing, but it's subsidized. So whatever your income is, they only pay like so much of it, and you have to pay the remaining. They'll give you food stamps, and that requires you to put in, and not only all the time, but they'll give you food stamps for your children. But if you don't have the child's father on child support, then you won't get them for yourself. Same way with Medicaid, stuff like that. But
yeah, I don't believe
that's
in
why
child
I'm
support.
confused of what assistance they're talking about, because down here in Florida, it does not work like that. They will cut your ass off, and they wouldn't give a damn how you gonna do it the next month.
Well, they need to develop those same policies here in Philadelphia.
Florida's a very different state, and it's an island all on its own.
Yeah, so they get it. They can get it at any time up there.
Oh, yeah. As long as you produce a child, you can stand in that line. Or I guess now they make it easier. You can call that number.
So that's a good question. If you have one child and they only give you 6 months on it, and you get pregnant again, can you reapply for assistance in Florida if you have another child?
Now you only get it for so for like I think it's like 6 months out of
So no matter how many
a
kids you
lifetime.
have, each child is
No
only
matter
going to
how
get
many
6
kids you
months on it.
have, but if you have it during that time, they'll give it to you. And catch this, whatever you get from them, the child fathers have to pay it back. They have to pay all of it back.
That damn Santos.
Get it until the child is 18. That's why they have
Right?
so many kids. Not down here. Not down here. They don't do that.
They
They'll
need
even
to
help you
develop
go to
those
school.
policies up here because they running rampant with the stuff up here.
I can't tell
So I
y'all
didn't
working at Section 8, my days working at Section 8, how many
Me too.
places I ran across where TANF was the income, and they would stay on TANF for as long as they could because they knew that TANF wasn't enough money to make them have to pay a portion of rent.
Right.
Or they would get sanctioned
And
if they didn't do something. So like say if they didn't complete some type of paperwork or wasn't going to the job training like they were supposed to, they would sanction them. So say if they got $300 and they sanctioned them $100, we would still count the income as you getting $300 because this means that you didn't do something that you were supposed to do to get this free money. Yes,
so what are they required to do to get the free money up there? Like, what are they required to do?
Have a baby, have a pulse.
That's it.
That's it.
So they don't have work searches, nothing.
They're supposed to. They're supposed to go to like certain like work classes. So if you apply for it and you say you don't have a job and you get it, you're supposed to have a case manager that's supposed to like send you resources and supposed to like make you like have to go to some type of like job training. At least that's how it was. I don't know how it is now, but they would make you go to some type of job training, a career link or something like that.
Very true, Dom.
You have a career center where you have to go to and apply for jobs, go on interviews, stuff like that. I don't know if they are still holding them to that standard. I know that's what it used to be.
It is. And I don't want to say too much, but I know someone within the working world who was on assistance. She got a full-time job. The check wasn't what she thought it was going to be. The first thing out of her mouth was, oh, well, if I would have known my check would have been this small, I would have stayed working part-time so I could have still been getting my benefits and my money from welfare. Not even just that. I'll give you a little bit more insight. When I was in 9th grade, I had a classmate who was pregnant on her second child. Now, how old are we in 9th grade?
What are we, 13? 12,
13?
13, 14, right? Second child. Okay? You know what her mom said to her? I don't care. As long as you keep popping out babies, I can keep getting a check.
That's sad.
It's a mentality.
When I was in cosmetology school, they made a lot of these girls take a trade course in order to still receive their benefits. So a lot of them went to cosmetology school. They had no aspirations of actually being a licensed cosmetologist. They just wanted to keep that money flowing because you're getting food stamps on top of you're getting a check. And as long as you keep reproducing, you're going to get more money.
So can they receive the child support and the assistance at the same time?
Yes. Yes. I know a guy who went through a very hard time. And she was, oh my God, she was always up in the court, always trying to get money from him. It was ridiculous. But not only was she getting food stamps and money and the child support from him, she actually had a full-time job that she was not telling the government about. And bragging
get locked up for that though, right?
Media. This is the mentality. So that's why I say I agree with OG. I agree with Shannon because I see these examples of these bum ass women every single day.
Right. And I feel like, you can either help you or hurt you, because if you're using it as a stepping stone, like I got a 4-year degree, right? I got financial aid. It paid me, well, probably till like the end of my bachelor's degree, because I was starting to go to school for nursing and I ended up changing my degree. So I got so many excessive credits. They helped me. It was a stepping stone.
But see,
I used it
took
to
it
get
as a
to a
stepping
better
stone
place.
because of your mentality. You don't have that mentality where you want someone to take care of you. You used it for what it was and you didn't take advantage. The mentality is different. We have a lot more women taking advantage because it's so easy to come by for them to have. And they know how to trick the system. Especially when your mom did it, grandmom did it, your next door neighbor doing it, your girlfriend doing it. Oh, girl, this how you get this. Do it like that. They'll give you an extra $200.
We can't get it. That's horrible.
It's
That's
people
horrible.
faking illness just to get Social Security.
Do you feel like, Dom, do you think that's some type of mental illness though?
I think it's very manipulative. I wouldn't call it a mental illness.
Master manipulation.
Master manipulation, right. Absolutely. It's unfortunate. Again, working at Section 8, I can't tell you how many people would have jobs and they'd be over income, and the moment we send out that over income letter, they don't got that job no more.
They quit in a heartbeat.
When I tell you, quit so damn fast.
Or instead of quitting, I'm gonna quit this job and go somewhere else where I'm making less money.
I lower their hours. And then once they recertification date would pass, where they no longer had to report income, then they pick them hours right back up. Wait till it's time for recertification 2 years later, lower them hours some more so they can have the right amount of pay stubs.
Yep.
People know how to beat the system. And
they know how to play the game, boy.
Do you think that's like lack of self-esteem for somebody to do something like that though? Like,
no, I think it's lazy.
I think it's lazy. I think it's what they were shown. I can't tell you how many times I've sent termination notices out. I ain't never got a termination. I've been on Section 8 for 30 years, and I don't feel like that's a badge of honor. I don't feel like you
Right.
should say that out loud. Did you hear yourself when you
I'd
said
be
it?
ashamed. I'd be
You
embarrassed.
told that I was on somebody's government assistance for 30 years. You don't aspire for nothing else. You don't want to be a homeowner. You don't want to be out here on your own. Or we would have people that would be like, oh, this was my grandma's house who passed it down to my mama, and then my mama died, or she moved out and now it's my house. This is not an inheritance, Jesus.
Hello.
This is a stepping stone. And unfortunately, so here they used to have a 7-year rule.
Facts.
You would
Facts,
be on for 7
OG.
years. Absolutely, basically a bum. They would have it for 7 years, and then after 7 years, they were supposed to transition out off of housing. They went away with the 7-year rule because Philadelphia has a partnership with the housing authority to help limit the amount of homelessness that is in the city.
Okay.
So instead of allowing people to be homeless because they're not ready after 7 years of getting free government assistance, but whatever, they no longer have the 7-year rule. So now people can be on Section 8 as long as they qualify for Section 8.
That is absolutely
sad
disgusting.
part about that is it doesn't motivate a person to want to do something to make them want to do better. But the other side of that is if they do make these people move after 7 years and they're not ready financially, which is their fault. It's not the fault of the children. So should the children have to suffer because of the parents not wanting to do better?
No, but then how do we force them to be self-sufficient? If we all out here figuring it out on our own, right? We go to work every day, we bust our ass. Some of us got 2 and 3 jobs, and we all got kids on here.
Yes.
It can be done. It is a mindset that they choose not to do it.
They
there
don't
are
want
so
to.
many single women, and I use that word lightly because I used to do investigations with PHA. That was like the latter part of my career there, the last 5 years. I can't tell you how many single households, women on government assistance, getting a little 316, 405, whatever these numbers were. But the next thing I know, I got an investigation memo coming across my desk because your baby dad is in there. How?
Yep.
Right? How?
Yep.
How you got a nigga living in here that ain't on the lease? But you
And I'm glad you said that.
But you
because those examples,
paying your rent.
Those examples are baby mamas.
Those are baby mamas.
Definitely.
We are mothers of a man's child. The 3 of us, right? You're either a mother of someone's child or you're a baby mom. There's 2 classifications of women.
Hello.
I ain't no baby mom.
I will never be. I will never.
So housing up there, they're still not allowing the fathers or the men to be in the home.
Facts, OG, dusty.
According to welfare, if you're applying for welfare, no, the man can't be in the home. But on Section 8, if you apply, you do your application and you add this man, we run background checks and all of that stuff. If they qualify, parents can be in the house. The issue is most of these niggas ain't passing background checks.
Yeah, you're
most
right.
of these niggas got a bunch of other stuff going on. They got money that's going to put them over the limit. That's going to put them over income. So they do the application with just them and their kids. They wait a little bit, and then they slide them right on in there. So now when our inspectors go out to do inspections, your son is 2, ma'am. This is a size 13 Jordan.
Hello. That's so sad.
You know how
I work for housing too. And I seen a lot of men that stayed in the house with the mothers. I don't even want to talk about it on here because I can, But I mean, I feel like
PHA no more. So
I don't either. I don't work for housing down here either. But they did allow the men to stay inside the home. But like you said, they had to pass background checks, and a lot of them couldn't pass background checks, so they weren't able to be in the home. So, but I just feel like that is the biggest come up ever. Like, how are you allowing this man to be in your home and y'all ain't coming up in any kind of way?
Choices, the wrong choices, no standards, no
morals. Section 8. He don't want to put you in a house, an apartment, a condo, nothing, huh? He just want to come and lay up underneath of you.
No, but you know what happens?
Going to pay this $50 in rent.
But you know what happens? He ends up meeting somebody that does have standards, that does have morals, and he puts the ring on that finger.
Right.
Or
either he bounces on her when they find out that he's staying in that house that he ain't supposed to be staying in and going to go stay with somebody else in Section 8.
Mind you, now
Yeah,
you
bounce
put
and go
her and them
somewhere else.
kids at risk of losing that voucher.
Yeah,
That's what I used to
I've
do.
seen it happen. I've seen it
Investigations would
happen.
come and I would do hearings. I used to be the hearings coordinator. I can't tell you how many people was there for unauthorized occupants.
Yes,
That's
OG.
They don't
Just
live here.
dust.
Just get his mail here. Girl, we got surveillance.
It's a whole game here.
The ID's
Stupid
registered
shit,
here.
right?
It's a whole game
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, so I believe, you know, it starts with us. It starts with us. We have the power.
Absolutely.
We definitely have
right.
the power. The ball is in our court from the start.
To make the
Feel like
right
as Black
choices.
women to make the right choices, because one wrong choice could fuck you up. Okay.
Oh yeah.
One
You end up
drug
being
night
the women that
or
Kevin
one
Samuels be talking about. You know, I don't agree with everything that he says, but a lot of it, he was trying to
one
get
night stand could cost you 18 years of pain and misery.
Absolutely.
Ooh, yes.
We got to do better.
Absolutely.
We got to do better. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
The ball is in our court, and if marriage is not the goal, and I think that's another conversation. Y'all have to talk about if marriage is the goal. If marriage is the goal, then move forward with it. But if marriage is not the goal and you want it and they don't, then let's not waste our time anymore.
It's time to move on.
Absolutely. It's time to
There's
move
somebody
on.
out here that is willing to meet you and give you what you want.
Mm-hmm.
Yes,
Right.
marriage should be the goal.
definitely
Marriage
agree.
and the kids. Sometimes it works, sometimes
Absolutely.
it don't. That's why I'm trying to do it right the
Right.
second time around.
And if he ain't trying to put that ring on your finger, let him keep walking.
That's
Let him
right.
keep going.
Don't have no babies. Don't have no babies
Right.
with him. Because if you're good enough to
Right.
have a baby with, you're good enough to be a wife.
Now you're stuck for 18
Definitely,
years.
because baby is not gonna lock no man down at all.
Mm-mm.
That's not
Not at
how.
all.
That's not how it happens. If anything, it's probably gonna make his ass run. Unfortunately.
Unfortunately.
But anyways,
Stop,
I talked about the
OG.
women this week in this baby mama culture. So I want everybody to come tune in next week. I'm gonna talk about the baby daddy culture, and I'm gonna get on the men's ass next week. Okay.
Oh man.
Tune in.
Definitely gotta make sure I tune in for that one.
Oh yeah.
Listen, I'm
my
gonna get on
wine
a lot of
ready.
their asses. Trust me. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the show today. Can you tell the listeners where they can find you?
Go, Tim.
Well, you can find me backstage. I'm usually backstage or in the comments. You can find me in the comments, y'all. But thank
Or
you
any
so
show
much.
on the network.
Yes, I'll be in I'm in the comments, and every single show I'm in them comments, okay? Or I'm backstage producing.
Y'all can catch me
Get on their asses.
Melanated Vibrations on
Yes.
Mondays at 7, only on the Big Exclusive Network. Y'all can follow me on Instagram, melanated_vibrations. I post daily mental health tools and techniques and picker-uppers. Yeah, join me on Melanated Vibrations. It's Mental Health Awareness Month, and next week we talk about domestic violence. So I can't wait to see you guys.
Well, you can catch me here on Unlatched every Friday night at 9 p.m. And yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm your host,
Thank you,
DeAndra.
ladies.
Bye. Have a great weekend.